Orcas, though also known as killer whales, actually belong to the dolphin family. According to NationalGeographic.com, orcas average between 23 to 32 feet long and can weigh as much as 6 tons. The name killer whale does not come from their nature of killing humans, but the nature of sometimes killing each other in the wild. Orcas inhabit all oceans of the world and are most numerous in the Arctic. In the United States, entertainment parks such as SeaWorld capture orcas from the wild, and they confine them in tanks for the rest of their lives. They are taught tricks to perform at shows for human entertainment. In July of this year, a documentary titled Blackfish was released that shows the story of Tilikium. He is a performing killer whale that has killed several people while in captivity, and is most recent in 2010. The film exposed shocking footage and emotional interviews that explore the cruel treatment of orcas in captivity as a result of a multi-billion-dollar sea park industry. The documentary has caught a lot of attention, and CNN recently aired it. Although many people enjoy entertainment shows with animals, most know little or nothing about the process of how these animals are captured and what these animals endure for the rest of their lives. We need to put an end to entertainment shows. It is essential that we look at orcas in their natural habitat. Killer whales are very unique animals. They are recognized by their black and white markings along with their intelligence and very social nature. According to Defenders.org, in their natural habitats, they travel in packs called pods, which usually consist of anywhere between 5 to 30 orcas, and sometimes they even combine pods, which result in groups of 100 or more. When orcas are captured, they break up pods and families. In some pods, children stay with their mothers their whole lives. Very few orcas in captivity make it to midlife, which is usually 30 for males and 45 for females. The average lifespan of orcas in captivity is only 9 years old. And not one of the 200 held in captivity have ever made it close to old age, which is 60 years old for males and 80 for females. But those not in captivity have often made it way past this. Entertainment parks confine these animals to often swim up to 100 miles each day in the wild to tanks that are comparable to the size of a bathtub to humans. It would take an orca 1,900 laps around a pool in one day to swim the average distance they do in the ocean. Now we're going to explore the negative aspects of being held in captivity. Their complex communication. Orcas use a complex form of communication with different pods, meaning they all have different dialects or possibly different languages. So when orcas are taken from the wild, they're placed into tanks with orcas from different pods. This results in orcas not being able to communicate and understand each other. Remember, orcas are very social creatures. With no communication, it can cause extreme amounts of stress to the animal. Along with the stress caused by communication, fights are also very common. The resulting anxiety and tension causes fights between orcas. In the wild, orcas have a strong social bond that may last for life. Their social rules prohibit serious violence against each other, and when fights do occur, they find space to flee. In captivity, there is nowhere for them to go, which leads to injuries and possibly death. In the documentary Blackfish, they explain how older orcas are in charge of helping younger orcas learn tricks. When young orcas aren't learning the tricks or aren't performing them correctly, food is deprived from both young and old. This enrages the older orcas, and they deal with it by biting and bullying the younger ones, which in turn causes fights. And this is an example of Nakai, who was injured on a sharp metal edge in his tank while reportedly fleeing from an aggressive altercation with 2 orcas. And you can see that's the big gash. Orcas in captivity also gnaw on iron bars and concrete from anxiety and stress. This results in broken teeth, which in turn is dealt with by dental drilling without anesthesia. These stresses are detrimental to their health and, in my opinion, directly relate to their short lifespan in captivity. A possible solution or a win-win situation between orcas and SeaWorld would be to create rehabilitation centers. These centers can be created around the world, and they can rehabilitate orcas and also retire them. These sanctuaries would be sea pens or netted off bay coves in the ocean. This would allow orcas to be in their natural habitat. A fundamental premise of these sanctuaries, however, is that eventually they would empty. Breeding would not be allowed, and captive orcas would no longer exist within the next few decades. Stop and think for a minute. If you are captured from your family, unwillingly, and were confined to one small room for the rest of your life with people who spoke different languages, you are taught tricks, and are made to perform in front of thousands of people time and time again until you get sick and die. We need to put ourselves in their shoes, as the saying goes. Why do we as humans deprive these animals from their natural habitat? Why are we allowed to remove them from their home for our pleasure of entertainment? We should all support orcas' freedoms, just as we have the freedom to do as we please with our lives. They should have the freedom to live in the beautiful oceans of the world, swimming along with their families for the rest of their lives. In conclusion, according to Bloomberg.com, as of April 2013, SeaWorld is worth $2.5 billion. As SeaWorldOfHurt.com put it, orcas suffer mentally and physically just to line SeaWorld's pockets. I encourage you to watch Blackfish and learn more about orcas in captivity. We need to change our perspective, not as the audience watching an entertaining show, but as the orcas who are in captivity performing time and time again. I know I will not automatically free all orcas because of my speech, but I may at least get one of you to stop from going to these entertainment shows while on vacation, which is my goal.